we are back again. We have given you the pros of polyamory according to me, Bae and J, but this episode is about the cons, or as we want to call them, the challenges. So if you're curious about what the challenges are according to me, Bae and J, stay tuned. You can hide it, 'cause I feel you, never let you go. Boy, I know our love is strong, even when sunlight turns to storm. All right, if y'all are ready to hop into this list, let's go. Make sure you do stay all the way to the end for what is hands down the biggest challenge in polyamory.
Yep.
But to kick it off, we have, some pretty easy cons. T, you want to start us off?
Yes, so number 10 on our cons /
I don't even think we have 10.
We
I
only
think
got 5.
we
We only got 5.
Y'all, we tried to come up with 10, but they're just more pros than cons for us.
That's right.
So we have like 7 cons. So number 7.
So number 7 is multiple people means multiple personalities, multiple opinions, multiple needs, multiple wants, and that can be hard to juggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. It could be especially difficult with 2 women. And I always say that, right? I always say that. But it's true, guys. Y'all know how. Listen, trying to figure out what you want to eat with one woman, right? Is like,
Yeah.
2 women. Yeah.
I mean, I do have to say, like, hats off to Jeffy.
All the time.
Because sometimes when Heather is doing something and I'm like, why is she doing that? And then I think, I absolutely do the same thing. And thinking, Jeffy he's dealing with 2 women and he does it really well.
So well.
Yeah.
So well.
Pat on the back for him.
It's all good.
Yeah.
What I've come to realize is women don't really realize that they're doing it. They're completely oblivious that they're being a woman.
So let's
Number 6.
Number 6 on the list. So bringing it to number 6. Number 6 is there's always someone left behind. Not always, but a lot of times there's someone left behind. So like we said, we had given a pro. One of the pros was that you always have somebody to do something with. And so a lot of times I'm with Jeff is with me, or I'm with T when we're with the kids. And when me and Jeff are together, T is home with the kids. Mm-hmm. When me and T are together, we're usually both with the kids.
Yeah.
I be home with the kids sometimes.
I mean, the majority of it is we have them. Anyway.
So, but the con in that is that a lot of times T gets left alone. So if because I'm always getting invitations to do stuff, and I'm usually taking them up on the invitation.
The popular one.
And so it's like, Jeff, because I know T not coming with me. Jeff, you come with me to do this? So it means that T, more times than not, is going to be home alone. And so even though, yes, she's an introvert, yes, she likes to be home, it doesn't mean that she always wants to be home without us.
Exactly. For number 5, arguments and disagreements can sometimes easily turn into 2 against 1.
The team up.
It can happen.
Oh, it happens. Oh, yeah. Which character? I'm going to look at all 3. It happens.
But it happens to T as well. I don't feel like I ever really get ganged up on, to be perfectly honest.
Well, you have to be careful with ganging up on Heather because she come back fighting. Mm-hmm. Like she's true. Not there to like kind of listen and be like vulnerable.
You can't put back into the corner.
He's like, she comes out scratching.
Feral cat.
We tend not to gang up on Heather. Me and Heb definitely gang up on Jeffy more often than not. Like
more often than in this threesome, more often than anything.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there are rare occasions where Jeff and I, are like
on the same page.
And and Letitia is
we're not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah, we're not right. Your communication skills are always improving.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not the most receptive to being ganged up on, but I am working on
It's
it.
never gang. We don't gang up.
We don't
though.
gang up on
like
her.
it's
Yeah.
we happen to be having a conversation, and me and him agree. And when she, like, it's almost like when she gets wind of it, she's like, absolutely not.
I don't even know what they're talking about right
She-
now.
you
I can
know,
think of one.
I know what we're talking about.
I can think of one.
Let's, would you all like an example? I think we need an example.
Okay. The last time we were filming, like we were planning to film, we were here, and Jeff and I, Heather wanted to. There was something specific a topic that she wanted to film, and Jeff and I didn't really want to film that, and we were supposed to take a picture afterwards because we were in our nice gowns and stuff. So she got so angry at that she refused. Like, so we're trying to take this picture.
I took the picture.
Oh my God. I
took multiple pictures to get a good one, and then still had to tell her, okay, you gonna fix your face.
And we're like, you're mad?
I'm gonna post this picture here.
So we're like, bro, you're mad? And she, no. And if you know how Heather is like, no, everything's fine. Let's go.
That's right. And then the energy is all weird.
Right, the energy's weird.
And you're like,
So
Sure.
right, right now.
But we love her to death.
Thank you. I love you all too.
So that brings us to number 4, guys. And number 4 on our list is, I'm trying to remember all these birthdays and holidays and anniversaries, and I'm already not good with it, you know?
Yeah. I think we're 10 years in. So now we really got a handle on them.
Yeah.
But we are 3 couples, a throuple. So each couple has an anniversary. All 3 of us have an anniversary. And then, of course, we are a family of 6. And so it's 6 birthdays, too.
Yeah.
But 2 of those birthdays on the same day, so.
That's true.
5 birthdays.
Yeah. But I mean, good luck for our other extended family for us trying to remember them, right?
Well, I keep the calendar,
yes.
so
she does.
I remind about all of those things.
True.
Yeah, that's true. Go tell Gabe to give you the iPad.
We're almost done.
We're almost done. Okay? Hi, baby. You want to come say hi to the tripod fam?
Just say hi.
Hey, baby. Oh, mwah.
16 minutes.
You want to wave to the tripod fam? To the cameras. Wave to the camera? No? Okay, that's cool. Tell Gabe to give you that iPad.
All right.
It's your turn.
All right, and we are at number 3 of our cons of polyamory. Letitia?
Number 3 is balancing household responsibilities and parenting duties. So it's a pro for us because we have 3 people to do so, but it's also a challenge because we also have several schedules that we're always trying to manage and make sure that you know everything's always taken care of.
It's a juggling act, and sometimes things get, just like in regular households, I'm sure things get put on the back burner, and then you got to figure out when you're going to fit it in. And like I've been doing that this weekend, to tell you the truth, right? Trying to just fit in a bunch of things that I've been meaning to do, but just haven't been able to get around to doing it.
Yeah.
So it could be a juggling act.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Number 2 and number 1 is about to get juicy.
Yeah.
So these are outside of some of the things that some monogamous households might find as challenges as well. So number 2, Letitia.
Polyamory can open up a can of worms, and if you decide you want to close it,
You can't close it.
Yeah.
It's like Pandora's box.
It's open.
Yeah. So you got to make sure that you understand what you're getting into before you open that box up.
Yeah.
Or that can.
Yeah.
However you want to say.
And there has to be some kind of agreement, to move through it, to recognize at the onset of opening the can that things will change. Just like the relationship has changed from year 1 to 3 to 5, etc. Things will change. What you thought you might enjoy, you might decide that you don't, and maybe you are curious about something else. Like whatever that looks like. But once you open it, your relationship will never be the same.
That's correct. Now, it doesn't mean that things can't change for the better.
For sure.
Absolutely.
But you're right. Like once you open that,
it can be some hard times as you're trying to navigate what it means for both of you, because you may have very different ideas of what opening a relationship means or what polyamory means. So it can be a little bit of a struggle to come to an agreement.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why your communication has to be, you have to practice good communication.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you're going to get it right the first time, the second time. Right.
Yeah. Or 10 years later.
Or 10 years later. Sometimes we slip up, you know? Yeah, because we're human.
And just on the communication, we're giving cons, but just a piece of advice is, as you are navigating that and as you are communicating, really lean into you when you are expressing to your partner. Because when things happen, it's very important that you don't move to the type of language that makes another person feel attacked. It can't be, well, when you did this, you made me feel. It has to be, when this happened, it made me feel. So that you can take on and use the type of narrative that makes it clear to your partner that you're not blaming them. You're simply trying to express the emotions of whatever happened as you and from your perspective. All right, you all, the number one piece. We are going to read this one because it's a lot, but then we'll elaborate on it a little bit. So the number one challenge of polyamory is being open to receiving and listening to your partner's curiosity, especially about sexual experiences. Listening to that may or may not be challenging, but navigating the freedom to explore it is bound to present challenges. So I think that we already touched a little bit on that, but yeah, sometimes just listening to it, depending on what people's past experiences have been in life in general, we know sometimes things can bring up triggers that their partner might not even be aware of.
Absolutely.
So it could potentially be a challenge to listen.
Yeah.
But even when it's not a challenge to listen and your partner is like, okay, I'm hearing you and all right, this is interesting. That next step of what it looks like to explore that, to give them the freedom to get to know themselves and to explore that, navigating what that looks like, it can be a challenge.
Yeah. I think that especially from a male perspective, we don't want to imagine or envision somebody that we're in a relationship with, our partner. We don't want to envision them, being attracted to other men or, explore their feelings with other people. Like sometimes that can just be a hard no for us.
And that's really like toxic masculinity and machismo. Like,
well, yeah,
it's conditioning.
Definitely at its finest. Because we're all people at the end of the day. It's not about male and female. It's about, loving somebody enough to want to see them happy. Within boundaries, within what makes you comfortable. And nobody's saying that you have to be uncomfortable in these kind of situations. But some people get stuck before they get started.
Yeah.
Good point.
And so I think on that note, I want us to leave them with some advice.
Sure.
On how to navigate that.
So the biggest piece of advice that I think that I could lay on the table right now is listening is the hardest but the most important thing to do. Simply because you can't understand what they're trying to say and how they feel if you don't try to consciously listen to them. Because a lot of the times you get stuck on the level of, I gotta have my response ready. And so if you're thinking about what you're going to say after they're finished talking, you're not really listening to them and you'll never gain that understanding. And so things will, you know how it goes. Things never really end up good on a positive note when you take those kind of routes.
Yeah, I think if you can remember to not take something personally as it's this person is doing something because I didn't do something or because I'm lacking somewhere. I think there is, in polyamory, there is room that's there's room for love. And so I think you can't take it personally. It's not because I'm not doing this because I don't love you anymore, or that's not what it's about. It's not about you. It's not about that person.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And, I think a lot of the times, well, not a lot of times, sometimes we see polyamorous thruples or people who have been together for as long as me and you have, and maybe have grown up together and they become adults and they realize that they're different and, they want to explore those differences and stuff like that they couldn't articulate in their youth. And so,
but not without each other.
Well, not without each other, exactly.
It's like I do want to explore these things, but I still want to have you. Yeah. So my two pieces of advice would be: one, really try to listen to your partner non-judgmentally. That is, it's a challenge, because it is possible for your partner to be expressing things to you that you can't comprehend. You don't have those desires. You don't have that curiosity. And what they're saying to you is not for you. Just let them have their human experience. Let them express that to you. Let them feel like they can trust you. Let them feel vulnerable with you. The second piece is kind of like Letitia said, don't feel like their wants or their desires are because of something that you lack. However, be honest enough with yourself to admit that maybe something that they are desiring is just not something that you can give. And so it may be uncomfortable for you to allow them to have some of these experiences, but you can also take comfort in knowing that those experiences are going to bring them a happiness and an exploration that maybe you couldn't. And ultimately, if you all know that you want to be together, like I don't want to do life without you, then it means that you can find a way to navigate some of those discomforts. But you open that can of worms, navigate it. These are some of the challenges.
Don't say we didn't tell you so.
Don't say we didn't tell you so. And definitely drop some questions down below if you have any other questions about some of the challenges that maybe you're going through. Even it may be a question, or it may just really be a comment. Like, what are some of the challenges that you all are going through in trying to have a polyamorous relationship?
I'd really like to know that. What are your challenges?
So also don't forget to like this video, guys. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and click the bell so you get the notifications when we upload new videos. So we hope that you've enjoyed this video and our little insights that we try to make sure that we offer to the community. And we really appreciate you guys hanging in there with us and checking us out. And till next time.
Till next time.
Bye.